And next, we will have some voices featured from some fellows who have been a part of those incredible and amazing cohorts. I myself am a former fellow. I came through this program in 2018 on the nomination of my executive director, Giselle Castro. Exalt had recently become a New York Community Trust grantee, and we took full advantage of the opportunity to send me, my executive director sent me to this program. And I was excited to go, and I couldn't wait, to learn more about fundraising and, management of teams and people. But I have to be honest, I wasn't expecting to find the community. I wasn't expecting to find the deep level of care. I wasn't expecting to find someone in Michael Seltzer and Shell, who was actually just joining the fellowship when I joined, who really saw not only the potential and the great things that fellows like myself could do, but saw us for who we were as human beings, as people, as equals. And it was such a great gift and such a powerful place to be. That, as Pat mentioned, there was no way you could keep me away from our fellowship sessions on those Fridays over at FWPA back in 2018. So I love coming down there every Friday, having breakfast, having lunch, even going for happy hour many times after those sessions concluded. And we really did build family and community. So it is my great honor now to let you hear from some of those other leaders from those cohorts who were also nominated, who were selected from their cohorts as valedictorians and class speakers to give a few remarks and represent their great cohorts. And so the first person you will hear from this evening is the outstanding Karen Ford. Karen was a graduate from our most recent cohort, which just concluded this fall. And I will pass it off to Karen. She will introduce herself, tell you who she is, her title, and share a few remarks with you. Karen.
Hi, thank you so much, Brian. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much I just first want to say congratulations to all of the cohorts that are here, to all of the leadership fellows graduating today. We are really excited to be here. This is a wonderful moment and a wonderful opportunity for us. My name is Karen Ford. I am currently the Chief Operating Officer for Help USA. Help USA is one of the national homeless and housing providers. We are based in New York City. We've been around for a really, really long time. We, what I like to say, are everything housing curious. We provide an array of services, including homelessness prevention, transitional services, transitional housing, permanent and supportive housing for individuals who are facing housing insecurity. We work with veterans, we work with domestic violence individuals, and again, we are a wonderful organization that provides the most challenging work to New York City and the nation's most vulnerable populations. So thank you again to my fall 2021 cohort for nominating me to be your spokesperson and representative. So I bring you greetings from that cohort. We definitely want to first start off by thanking New York Community Trust and the Leadership Fellows team, Michael, Brian, Shelley, Arden. You guys, y'all modeled leadership excellence for us and transparency through this whole process. We acknowledge the varying organizations, our bosses, mine in particular, Dr. Tom Hamline, for nominating us, and amazing teams that we get to work with every day that provided the support we needed so that we could literally check out, right, for 8 hours on those Thursdays and those Friday afternoon, Friday mornings you were talking about, Brian, so that we can engage in this wonderful growth opportunity. Thank you. So New York Community Trust Leadership, you guys, y'all did an excellent job of bringing all of us together, right? When we first got together, we are such a diverse group of professionals, each in us from different ethnic and racial backgrounds, from different service industries, gender identities, and the varying levels of leadership in our professional careers. I myself, I came to the Fellows program looking for a safe space to help me answer some personal questions around whether or not I was ready, one, and second, whether or not I even wanted to pursue the next level in my professional career. I've been in the field a really long time, 25 years, and yeah, I did start when I was a baby, right? Doing this work in homeless services. And I am Chief Operating Officer. And so the natural next progression for me is CEO and President. But I had some reservations. I really wasn't sure, wasn't completely confident, even with 25 years in the industry, on whether or not I wanted to at least present myself in a way where I was ready to lead. So I spoke with my boss, and we had found this fellowship, and he nominated me and I got accepted. And thank you so much, because that actually was a really important part in my transition and my development. So I thank you. In the first 2 weeks, we kind of hit the gate. Like we came out, you guys came out swinging, right? We engaged in powerful and affirming discussions around race and equity, from an organizational perspective. It set the tone for the rest of our learning experience. We did the hard work right away, right? You provided us with the framework to develop our racial equity lens using the tools, that would help us apply anti-racist principles. We worked with Rich, right off the back, helping us to develop those conversations, creating the safe space for us, right, to sometimes scream, of which a lot of us did, or either dream out loud, like I was able to do, and imagine, what I could do and how we could, really become agents of dynamic change in this really important, perfect moment in time, where we're leading in a time of COVID and unprecedented times that we've never, ever been, down this road before. We've never had to lead from this place. The intersection of race and gender and, voices being elevated in our community. So we are really in a very special moment right now. So we engaged in life-saving discussions around fundraising, right? And the demystifying of what the resource development is all about, making it an organizational responsibility as opposed to an individual responsibility, and most of all, learning about the psychology of the ask. We also looked at philanthropy from a justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion lens, right? From that particular perspective, we learned the value of cultivating and sustaining partnerships as the lifeline for helping an organization sustain and accomplish long-term success. We looked at leadership strengths and assessment tests. We engaged in leadership conversations with accomplished women who are leading, again, in these unprecedented times. We had our minds shaped and molded with financial and budgeting practical tools and practices that became what I call my new superpower that I'm able to use at work. So we learned new words like GAAP, right? General Accepted Accounting Principles. And Michael, please tell Odell that we are making him proud, okay? And that the accountants and the human service providers, we really have the same goal, but we just speak two different languages, right? And we need to learn to communicate, so we learned the value of communicating both our lessons, and the importance of storytelling with budgets, because that's what Odell taught us, right? Budget's all about storytelling. You got to be able to tell that story of how you're spending the money. And then we also learned the value through our communication sessions of telling stories about the lives of the people that we are privileged and honored to represent. So myself, being a Gen Xer and pretty much an anti-social media person, right? I personally was convinced throughout this time of the importance and the value of having a social media platform and a strategy. So the organization, we're engaging in that as well. And I personally am engaging in having a better presence in social media. We had courageous conversations with our mentors, and I am extremely grateful to Michael and to Brian for connected me with Nancy. I mean, we're still going strong, and it's just been really life-changing for me. So the fellows, I talked about how we started out, right? With this diverse group of people from all of these different backgrounds, but today, right, the core values and the spirit of the leadership and the program that you guys put together for us has united us, right? Our most important leadership takeaway is the belief that leadership first is a matter of the heart. Whenever we have the opportunity or the responsibility to influence the thinking, the behavior, or the development of others, the first choice is whether to see the moment through the eyes of my own self, right, and my own self-interest, or for the benefit of those that we are leading. You guys taught us that transformative leadership is a heart, it's a head, it's a hands, and it's a habit connection, emanating most importantly from the love that we have of ourselves, from the love that we have of our communities, and from the love that we have of our teams and the people that we're responsible for, that we work for and that we work with. So thank you so much, New York Community Trust. Thank you for this opportunity. We, the cohort of fall 2021, is forever changed. Thank you.
And you see why Karen was selected as a speaker for this graduation. So powerful, so powerful. Thank you, Karen. We really appreciate your remarks. And I hope that those who were not able to be a part of the experience were able to learn a great deal from everything that you shared. So thank you. Getting a lot of love in the chat as well. So it was very powerful. Thank you so much.